So today is Tuesday, and usually bi-weekly meeting, our review for 2 weeks of work. And the first stuff I would like to discuss is that today we're having RC ready for our PMM 2.22 release. This evening we'll start build. We don't have any blockers problems, so we'll keep up to the schedule. Other stuff that if you would like to watch our roadmap for PMM or portal, you can visit this link, and it's pretty tricky, this dashboard. So if you would have any other questions, so contact me or Roman Novikov. We'll explain what it's all about. And let's start as usual with our bug fix update. So Nurlan, are you here?
Yeah, hi. So there is nothing to show regarding my bug fix. So it's only, so we had problem with agents stacking in starting state after upgrading PMM server, and it was fixed. So right now it works correctly.
So it was a problem with more than 100 services. Yeah. Do we have some kind of limit now set up?
No.
No, so it's unlimited.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So actually, this ticket was closed as can't be reproduced. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Important bug fix.
Yeah.
Then the next stuff, Carlos, can you please tell us about the problem we had with MongoDB? I will share my screen. Okay. This one.
Hello. The problem is a documentation issue plus not knowing how to set up properly the profiler, to enable the profiler in MongoDB. So if you enable the profiler, like part of the documentation, like when started MongoDB, when profiler enabled, everything works. So I wasn't able to reproduce it. But in part of the documentation, it says that you can set up per session profiling, and that section is incorrect because can I share my screen for a second?
Yep, sure.
Let me try to share screen. Can you see my screen, my browser? So this section says use admin and we set profiling level to 2, but that only enables profiler for the admin collection, because in Mongo, if you want to enable profiler per session, it must be done per collection. So I created the second ticket to update the documentation with the correct 2 lines. That's all.
Okay, good. Then let me share my screen again. The next stuff is Vadim. Can you please present these 2 items here? The first one is wrong CPU metrics labels, and the other custom dashboard prevents PMM Server Docker upgrade.
Yeah, sure. What we have here, okay. So we still can see the bug on our PMM demo. When we monitoring RDS instance, we have got additional metric that's not showing mode of CPU, just a name. And it's caused by the fact that RDS export fetch additional metric as a summary of all other modes. And in order to remove such issue, I have to modify formulas and specify exactly which modes have to be shown. For the next one, in our important dashboard script was not considered situations that a dashboard could have custom tags, because it's as we few releases ago allowed to save custom dashboards and not considered fact that custom dashboard could have custom tags. And according to tags, we are creating folders and placing dashboards into that folders. So now we are just ignoring such dashboards, custom dashboards, and left them in dashboards where they are.
But Vadim, I see there's mentioning that it's only after upgrading from 2.20 to 21 PMM, or it was before?
No, it's from 20 because the importing dashboard script was exactly merged in the 2.21.
Okay, okay. Any questions regarding these Vadim's fixes? No? Then let's proceed. We have David. David, hello. Can you present your bug fixes? I see you unmuted, but we cannot hear you. Oh, hello. Nope, we can't hear you. Yeah, sure. So we'll skip for now. And the next person here is Fabio for integrated alerting bug fix. Fabio?
Yeah.
Hello. Can you tell us what was the problem and what was the resolution?
When you go to integrated alerting to the templates, soon you will be able to get templates from the actual platform, but those shouldn't be editable, or you should be able to remove them. And so we changed that, and now those actions are disabled, as well as the built-in templates. So you can only change the ones you send via UI and such, not these ones. Yeah, so that's just the change.
Okay, and can you please also show on this screen what was changed? Now I see the label Percona as a source, that we also changed it.
Yeah, before it was, I believe, SaaS maybe, but now it's Percona because it's coming from the platform. So when you connect to the platform, you get the templates from there.
It was Percona Enterprise platform.
Yeah, right.
Now it's just Percona.
Yeah.
Now we're changing this, consolidating all these namings. Now it's called just Percona, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let me share my screen again. Now we have Jan. PMM Client Docker image incorrectly tagged with development version. Jan, hello.
Yeah. So let me share screen. All right. So the issue was we had DBaaS client def latest image hard coded in DBaaS controller, and even for production releases, we were using def latest image to monitor DBaaS databases. So what I do now, I check this field, which contains version. And if it's only major minor patch, we can be sure it's release version. If it's empty or there is something else than these three numbers, it's a development version. And based on that, I'm able to set a correct tag. So for development releases, is def latest. For production, it's latest production version.
Mm-hmm. Any questions related to this part? No. Then let's move on to new stuff and improvements we added. And first, let's discuss core functionality. Carlos, can you tell us about this stuff? First is add dbStats-based metric to MongoDB exporter. And the second one, cannot get DB names when connected to mongos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Sure. Can you see my desktop, right?
Yep.
My other computer. First is a third-party contribution that we have to improve and implement. It's enabling dbStats collection that it was missing from the port from version 1 to version 2 because we were getting the stats from get diagnostic data, but we are not getting all the information we need. And stat is disabled by default. So a user contributed with this code. dbStats are enabled by default, but it's not implemented yet because we need to run some benchmark to prove that we are not going to break anything on the customer side. So it's not released. I have an exporter running, and you can see you have dbStats metrics here. So that's all on the dbStats side. There are other two issues. 8491, it cannot get DB names when connected through a MongoOS, and also the ones which is work in progress, it's ready for today, 8489. It's a fix in some libraries we use from Toolkit. We were not detecting that some commands cannot be executed from a MongoOS. So when we had the error, we were returning the error instead of detecting, oh, but this on a MongoOS, this is totally normal. So now, instead of stopping the metrics collection, we are considering that we are on a MongoOS, and we continue collecting all other metrics without erroring. And I have another one. May I move to the last one assigned to me? And 8338. I just finished 15 minutes before this meeting. I found the
Can
error.
you please name what it's all about? Because not everybody is aware of our Jira stuff.
In query analytics, when you try to monitor a MariaDB instance, you don't have query examples. So you cannot run explain either because there are not query examples. The thing is, there are query examples. Let me share my screen again. I have something prepared. Can you see my workbench? The thing is, we are getting a statement from the table performance schema statement summary by dashes, right? But not to go to the history table every time, we have a cache with a statement history. From that table, we are getting the dashes, the query itself. As you can see, there is only one query, even when, or two queries, even when I was running Sysbench with thousands of queries. The problem is that MariaDB is not implementing history. I mean, queries are not going through a history if the query has been executed within a transaction. And Sysbench and PMM demo and what QA does is running Sysbench to generate some load. So you cannot see those queries because MariaDB is not implementing history for transactions. If you run a query manually outside a transaction, it appears in Quan. So it's a MariaDB problem.
Is there any way how would we react to this? Right?
No, because
message to MariaDB.
Let me share my screen again. Can you see? These are already tickets reported to MariaDB because history table transactions, they have many problems even with GTID and some other stuff. So it's already reported that that table is not getting the correct information.
Yeah, priority is major. So hopefully during the year it will be fixed.
Because I tried with Marco to insert those consumers manually, but it is not possible. You can only update a new because it's not even implemented.
Mm-hmm.
That's
okay. Yeah. Thanks, Carlos. Maybe somebody has questions related to what Carlos showed us and explained. Okay. Moving on. Vadim has MySQL Performance Details Dashboard. Can you please show us?
Yep.
Performance schema monitoring chart.
Okay, it was reported by Tibor that if performance schema is limited for some values for queries and there were more queries than expected, then some of them would be lost and it's not possible to figure out what's going on with other queries. So it was added additional element to MySQL Performance Schema Details Dashboard that show all performance schema status variables as well as digest lost. So it's possible for user customer to see that not all queries was in get to the con. And that's all.
Mm-hmm.
What would cause them not to get there?
Limit in settings.
Yes, but also
Okay.
query dashes. Sorry for interrupting, but
okay.
Because I worked on this even for PMM 1. The thing is that performance schema is creating buckets and the number of buckets is limited. So once you reach that limit, you're not getting examples or dashes for any new queries. That's query loss. You can empty the tables and it will start again from scratch. But once you have 1,000 buckets, no new queries are going to those tables.
Just from a user experience standpoint, because I think I have seen this question come up once or twice on the forums too. Is there something the user should do to? I mean, the obvious answer is like, oh, we'll just increase the number of buckets, but that sounds like that's probably got a unintended consequence.
You have a limit. You have a limit in the number of buckets. You cannot make it infinite.
Okay.
You can clean up the statistics. That's the only thing you can do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to other teams. Server integrations team. Upgrading operator inside Kubernetes cluster. We already showed this as in progress for several reviews, I guess. Yeah. But Jan, can you show us what's the final version? what's done, what would be included into our release.
Didn't we agree to not to show it?
Oh, if you have something to show that differs from what was shown before.
I don't. It's the same.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then let's move on. Finally, after 2 or 3 reviews, it's done. The next stuff is change number of nodes when editing topology. Tiago.
Hey, so we did another improvement on the dbStats service. This time is when you're trying to edit a cluster, we had a problem, which if the cluster is single node and you try to put it to cluster topology, this number of nodes wouldn't change, would stay as 1, and you wouldn't get no error here. And since we only allowed to create a cluster with more than 3 nodes, that was misleading because you had to change this by hand. But right now, like every time you tweak this value to something less than 3, and like if you go to single node again and then you come back to cluster for some reason, you'll see that this always goes to the minimum, which is 3. So right now it's much more easier for the user and won't cause any confusion. So that was a simple improvement, but it was causing some confusion, and that was it.
Any questions? Concerns? Then thanks, Tiago. Then Nurlan, is there anything you can tell us about this POC for Postgres operator?
Yeah, so there's some small presentation, I would say.
Yeah, can you please explain what was the goal of this POC and what the outcomes?
So as you know, we have a new operator in our list of operators for PostgreSQL. And when I start to implement it in DBaaS, we had some research. And at the beginning, it had a lot of problems, and we had discussion with operators team. And after that, right now, we have list of tasks that we should implement. So we have plan, which should be done in near future. And once we implement everything, we will have PostgreSQL in our Kubernetes, in our database as a service model.
Anything tricky, interesting, unexpected came out?
No. So probably we will not be able to show progress for now until operators team finish it. But everything else, I think, will be okay. So they made a lot of work since 0.1 version, and now it's much easier to use than it was on 0.1 version.
Mm-hmm. Now it's up to our technical product manager and engineering managers to decide when, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Now the work in progress stuff. So for the backups, we already showed this before. So we're currently finalizing this point in time recovery and restore, and also started working on backups restore logs for MongoDB. And as for the core team, we're having several items. So let me check. Jiří, can you please show us your stuff, what you're working on, why?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me describe what was the problem. When you had external exporter and you updated your PMM from 2.18 to higher version, then list and port disappeared from external exporter in inventory, which caused not working exporter, and it was needed to edit again. Now let me show you fix. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm running a version of PMM Server 2.18, and in inventory, we have list and port here. So let's upgrade PMM Server to latest version. It will take a few seconds. Okay, let's check version now. Yeah, it's dev latest. So let's go to inventory and check if everything is okay. Yeah, as you can see, list import is still here, so it was fixed, and that's pretty much it. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
for
Jiří. And can you please stop sharing so I will?
Yeah, I'm trying, but sorry, it's stuck. Can you kick me somehow? Or
yeah,
is it okay
no,
now?
I believe yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Should be okay. Okay, then we have Carlos failed to get topology labels in MongoS.
As I mentioned it before, it is never except for the other MongoS related issue.
Okay, now the streak for Vadim Yalovets. We have 3 tickets. Can you please explain the problems, Vadim? Because currently I see they're just in progress, or maybe not even finished.
You put the mic on, Vadim.
Yeah, it was slightly hidden. Okay, so the issue with light on home dashboard, it was reported by Alex. Actually, he made all stuff. My side only was to merge to commit it. So as its current view of our PMM demo, and we can see that nodes name are placing on the top of each element in a bit different colors. Also, if we have a lot of monitoring a lot of nodes, we lost panel titles, and it's hard to figure out which element mean what. So in new version, we added all titles to each element, and also name of a node name was placed in the center of the in the row. The next one I already shown, but again, sometimes if agent node is overloaded with some processes, then PMM agent, Victoria metric agent can't provide all metrics in time. And it's possible that, for example, in this element, we show status of VM agent, and it's shown every time it shows that it's down for the last second. So in order to fix such situation, which I have just added a small offset in the formula, so we could see the real status of VM agent processes. Oh, this one, it's easy. We missed unit in the element, and it was shown in the wrong unit, and now it's fixed. Also, it was suggested to place one of metric to the right side, so it would not be mixed up. That's all.
Any questions? No. Okay. So, and the last stuff in work in progress portal team. Portal team is working on the creation of organization flow and view organization page. Currently, it's not finished as far as I'm aware, but it's on the final steps of the implementation. So next review will definitely show you this stuff. Basically, from my side, this is it. Does anybody have any questions as for PMM? Something to discuss? No? Then, again, would like to remind you that today we will have PMM 222 RC ready. And in a week, on next Tuesday, you will have the internal release for Perconians for gathering feedback. So please do not miss this email. We struggle on your feedback. Then thanks. Have a great day.